If you drive through almost any new suburb in Texas today, you will see a familiar sight. A beautifully manicured lawn, a gorgeous brick facade, and a "for sale" sign that has been sitting there for 3, 4, or 5 months. You have seen the headlines about the Texas miracle. You have heard the mainstream media tell you that because there is no state income tax, the housing market here is bulletproof. But as a local real estate investment advisor who has spent decades analyzing the hard numbers, I am seeing deep cracks in the foundation that they are choosing to ignore. By 2027, some of the most hyped, celebrated, and overdeveloped neighborhoods in the Lone Star State are going to see a massive, painful price correction that we are not just talking about a minor dip. We are talking about a plummet that if you are planning to buy a home soon, or worse, if you already own property in these 5 specific areas, you need to look at the raw inventory and builder data I am tracking right now. The market is shifting from a gold rush into a historic oversupply, and the buyers who do not adapt today are going to get absolutely slaughtered tomorrow. Let us get directly into the data. The overbuilding red flag. Before we count down the specific neighborhoods, you must understand the key metric that drives every housing crash: months of supply. In a healthy, balanced real estate market, you want to see about 4 to 6 months of housing inventory. When inventory drops below that, prices rise. But when supply violently spikes past 6 months, sellers lose all pricing power, and home prices start to slide. Right now, active listings have surged to an alarming 123,000 homes statewide. That is 53% higher than normal, making Texas the 4th most oversupplied housing market in the entire United States. In parts of Central Texas, housing inventory has surged by over 40% year over year. At the exact same time, buyer demand has completely cooled off. Why? Because the massive, hidden costs of ownership, namely, skyrocketing property taxes and surging homeowners insurance premiums, are making these homes completely unaffordable for the average family. When builders keep building and buyers keep walking away, a correction is inevitable. 1. The tech suburb bubble, North Austin/Round Rock area. The first neighborhood zone on our 2027 danger list is the tech suburb bubble, specifically the North Austin, Round Rock, Hutto, and Taylor corridors. A few years ago, speculators, out-of-state flippers, and tech workers flooded these areas because of the Tesla and Samsung effect. When Samsung announced a massive $17 billion semiconductor plant in Taylor, builders went into a frenzy. They broke ground on massive master-planned communities, assuming thousands of high-earning tech employees would arrive overnight. But they priced in the future way too early. Samsung announced production delays, scaled back hiring, and reduced the scope of their immediate plans. The massive wave of buyers never materialized, leaving builders holding thousands of empty homes. Let us look at the crash data. Austin home prices have already plummeted 20.4% from their pandemic peak. To clear their books, builders in Hutto are slashing prices by $30,000 to $50,000 ***. In Taylor, Thierepnicking, offering outright price cuts off **** $40,000, $50,000, and even $60,000 off new builds. With 45% of all listings in Austin currently sitting with price cuts, the tech suburbs are facing a brutal 2027 reckoning. Do not buy here until the floor is officially found. 2. The overdeveloped Exurb, Outer Katy and Conroe. Neighborhood number 2 takes us to the overdeveloped exurbs, specifically areas like Outer Katy and the Conroe corridor north of Houston. This is where brand new construction is actively cannibalizing the resale market. During the suburban boom, national builders bought up massive tracts of cheap land on the outer edges of the metros and threw up thousands of cookie-cutter homes. But now, supply has completely outpaced local demand. Corporate builders are desperate to move their standing inventory. They are offering massive incentives, free upgrades, paid closing costs, and most importantly, 4.99% rate buydowns. If you bought a home here 3 years ago, you are now completely trapped. How can you possibly sell your existing home when the corporate builder down the street is offering a brand new house with a subsidized 4.99% mortgage rate that makes their monthly payment hundreds of dollars cheaper than yours? You cannot compete. Resale home values in these heavily overbuilt exurbs are set to plummet because existing homeowners are being forced to slash their prices just to compete with desperate, deep-pocketed builders. Neighborhood 3. The infrastructure and tax traps, high-tax mud districts. For our third and fourth areas, we have to look at the specific infrastructure and tax traps hidden inside municipal utility districts, MUDs. When developers build these massive master-planned communities out in raw farmland, they have to pay for the water lines, sewers, and roads. They do this by issuing municipal bonds, and they legally pass 100% of that massive infrastructure debt onto you, the buyer, through your property tax bill. Let us compare the math of a high-tax mud district versus an established neighborhood. Take a newer master-planned community in Leander, where homeowners pay an effective property tax rate that pushes past 3% due to layered mud and ESD fees. On a 560,000 home ****, that translates to jaring **** 17000 a year in property taxes. Now, compare that to an established neighborhood with a standard 1.8% tax rate. If you buy a 400,000 home **** in a high-tax mud, your monthly payment will be exactamente **** 450,000 home in an established neighborhood. The monthly cost to your pocket is identical, but your equity growth is vastly different. High-tax mud districts like those in Leander, Celina, and Frisco are seeing their resale values freeze. Home buyers are finally waking up, running the tax math, and realizing they are paying a second mortgage just to cover the developer's infrastructure debt. As these tax bills keep climbing, these neighborhoods will see a massive exodus of sellers, driving prices down. Neighborhood 5. The short-term rental crash zone. Finally, neighborhood number 5 is the short-term rental crash zone, specifically coastal areas like Galveston Island. During the low-rate pandemic era, thousands of amateur investors bought properties in coastal Texas, planning to fund their lifestyles through passive income on Airbnb. But in 2026 and heading into 2027, that dream has turned into a massive monthly liability. First, these markets are completely saturated with vacation rentals. Second, city ordinances are tightening, restricting short-term rentals. But the real nail in the coffin is the catastrophic insurance crisis. Galveston sits directly in Hurricane Alley, just 8 feet above sea level. Major insurance carriers are pulling out of coastal Texas entirely. The windstorm and flood insurance policies that remain easily add $200 to $400 a month to your housing costs, money that does not build equity, it just burns. Investors are panic selling their coastal properties because they cannot afford the soaring carrying costs. We are seeing a massive fire sale starting to brew, and by 2027, coastal short-term rental markets are going to see a major liquidation event. The safe harbor. Here is the bottom line. Texas is not failing, it is correcting. The era of easy money, where you could buy any house in any zip code and watch it double in value, is officially over. The market is punishing overbuilt, high-tax, and high-risk speculative zones. But the smart money is already pivoting. Investors who want to survive the 2027 correction are moving away from the overbuilt suburbs and into flat, stable, established markets with low tax rates and robust local economies. If you want my exclusive spreadsheet tracking the safest, most stable zip codes in Texas for 2027, drop a comment below with the word data, and if you want to understand why homes are sitting unsold for months across the state, make sure to watch my previous video on the Texas liquidity trap.